Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another third-party unlicensed 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. Today we are taking a look at the Yan Toys Puzzle Man, aka the Riddler from the Batman. Now I got mine from toyswonderland.com. Bear in mind though, this is an unlicensed, unofficial figure. I have popped the link in the description below for your reference purposes only. This is by no means a promotional video. This is a review on a figure I picked up for my own personal collection. While you are down in the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button so you're notified as soon as a brand new review goes live on the channel. As for the box art, it is simple, but I dig it. It kinda comes across as really classy. Up top, the Yan Toys logo, and is that the Power Rangers lightning bolt I spy there? Very clever, Yan Toys. You're clearly a fan of the Rangers, like I am. Up top, LCY01, this is their first figure. Then an image of Riddler. No, that's not the figure, that's actually Paul Dano in character. Then down below, Puzzle Man. In case you forgot, on the side of the box, once again, Puzzle Man. I'm not going crazy, right? That is genuinely the Power Rangers logo from the reboot film, the modern, more up-to-date version that, unfortunately, didn't really go anywhere, but I'm pretty sure that's where that's from. As for the artwork, I really like this. This is awesome. It's Riddler in this ominous red lighting, obscured by being out of focus. Then the letter to the Batman, front and center. There are actually multiple different versions of the Riddler in 1/6 scale, and yes, I do plan to review all of them. You all don't want to waste all your hard-earned money and precious time picking up all these various 1/6 scale Riddlers. Let me do that. Don't worry, I got you. Now, first in-hand impressions of the Puzzle Man. So far, yeah, that's the Riddler from the Batman. What we are going to do now, though, is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Starting off with the display base first, not only am I surprised that we actually get one, I'm even more surprised that it's done in the modern Hot Toys style. Up on top, we've got that same image from the front of the box of Paul Dano as Riddler. Around the front, Riddler on an etched metal nameplate. Then up top, a regular crotch grabber. From that chilling opening scene from the Batman, the carpet tucker. And yes, it is real metal. It's nice and heavy. Although, it is very clean. I would have liked a little bit of blood on the edge there, but still, I'm glad it's here. I'm really glad it's metal. Also from the opening scene, 2 rolls of tape. One that's fully spooled up, painted in shiny silver. I like the sculpt work. And the other where the tape has been separated from the main spool. Now, it's not actual tape, in fact, it's rubbery plastic, which I really like. That means when you go to pose this guy, no worries about damage or tearing the tape itself. It's sculpted plastic. It's nice and sturdy. I'm pretty certain the weapon that Ridley used in the film was a touch more retro, an old-school bolt-action rifle, but if you're picking this guy up to be a Riddler goon rather than actual Riddler, he can totally hold this, because the Riddler goons, they had all kinds of weapons. Now, the suppressor does have some silver dry brushing on the surface, and yes, it's removable. You can adjust the bipod up and down, and in and out. These springs, they're actually functional. The sight is removable, and there are some iron sights that move up and down. You can remove the magazine, and we do get 2 of them. They both have some painted bullet detail up on top. Then for the main body of the gun, some more silver dry brushing, and for the wood sections, some wood grain just printed on the surface. On the other side, we do have a moving fire select switch, and we can slide this piece back. It's spring-loaded. Now, technically, to complete the look, you have to attach this strap, although it's very fiddly. There's a metal ring around the front and this loop around the back. For me, I'm just going to leave it off, but if you want to futz with it, you totally can. Justin, quit being lazy, you sod. I know, but I've got ham hands, and trying to futz around with that teeny tiny little clasp on the strap, it's not easy. Now, we do get multiple To the Batman / For the Batman cards, and yes, the actual cards are inside. We may as well start off with this one first, From Your Secret Friend Who. So yes, they're all fully printed, and on the inside as well. Now, we're not going to look at all of them, because I want to save something for when you get yours in hand. You can sit down and go through all the cards, if you so choose. And lastly, a semi-full array of hands. Why do I say only semi-full? Well, We don't get the full array for both sides. We get a trigger finger for the right side, a gripping sort of card-holding hand for the left side, 2 other gripping hands, no closed fists, and some open palm hands. So not quite the full assortment. I like the wrinkling and the leather grain on the surface, plus the stitching, but these hands, they're made of super sturdy plastic, so trying to take them off the wrist peg, don't do it to yourself, heat them up, it's going to be way easier, just trust me. What we are going to do now though is get the Riddler himself out here. Standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. And yes, for those counting, this is in fact my second 1/6 scale Riddler. Is this the best one though? Well, we will have to find out a little bit later on. For now, he looks good. It's the Riddler, like I already said in the unboxing segment. He's relatively tall and quite lanky. Then the outfit on top of the body is nicely tailored, and the colours, they look spot on. Plus the head sculpt, even from a distance, is undeniably the Batman's Riddler. But unfortunately, even though there are multiple things I like here, there are still quite a few things that we do need to discuss. Up close and personal, kicking things off with Riddler's head sculpt. Now, this head sculpt is good, but there are a couple of things I think they could have done to have made it even better. Now, around the back, you can see his ears and hair underneath the cellophane. It's not actually cellophane, it's clear sculpted plastic. That effect is really cool. There's some wrinkling, there's a little bit of movement to it, it looks like it's supposed to. Around the front, same thing can be said for the mask. There's some wrinkling sculpted in, there's some stitching, and the shape, to me at least, looks good. You can see his nose poking out underneath, and his eyes, they are very wide open. And that's one of my complaints. They may be a little bit too wide open. Moving eyes would have been a very nice touch, but I understand. Riddler was unpredictable. He made expressions like this. His eyes, quite often, they were wide as hell. But having them maybe be able to move off to the side or look up and down would have set this head sculpt over the top. Another issue I have is the glasses. They're not actually connected to the sculpt itself. You can see they sit over the ears rather than going through the cellophane and sitting on the ears themselves. So for me, even though being able to remove the glasses is cool, I would have preferred just sculpting them on, and that way you wouldn't have to worry about bumping them when it comes to posing, because they do fall off and get out of alignment rather constantly. Also, down here for the neck, yes, the mask does extend down, but do make sure you tuck it under the hood for the hoodie so it's accurate to the movie. Do let me know, by the way, if you do like those little tidbits of advice here and there just to try and get the most out of your figures. Some people get angry saying, Justin, don't tell us how to display our figures, but hopefully some of you will find that a little bit useful. Now, he does have 2 hoods, and I would suggest tucking this one inside the outer hood so it sits down, otherwise it doesn't. It goes all kinds of crazy and does whatever it wants, because it is fabric and there's no wire, so there's no taming the hood. Just tuck it in and then it sits down, no problem whatsoever. You can of course have him wearing the hood, but you watch these glasses, they're gonna go flying. Now for me personally, I'm not going with the hood, just not the look I prefer, but if you do want to, you absolutely can. Interestingly enough, the lining of the outer jacket is actually a separate piece. It's not stitched in position. Also, because there's no wires, you can't shape it, you pretty much pop it on and it does whatever it wants to. What you see is what you get. Now, if I did have just one complaint about the jacket, it would be it's very clean. The tailoring is perfect, it hugs the body as it should, but this is pristine, it's brand new. Whereas in the Matt Reeves Batman universe, everything was lived in. It was filthy, it was dirty and grimy. It was a proper, dirty, filthy, living, breathing Gotham. And Riddler's outfit was disgusting. So I would have liked to have seen some shading, some speckling with some dirt and grime, but like I said, looks practically brand new. There are generally 2 schools of thought about what I'm going to say next, and it's all up to you. Both approaches totally fine, but you can weather this guy yourself. It's not going to be that hard. It's going to be so much fun. But the first school of thought is, for the price point, you shouldn't have to. It should come perfect out of the box. I totally understand you're spending money. It should be as close to perfect as they can possibly get. But perfect is a sliding scale. What's perfect for you may not be perfect for another collector. Maybe someone wants a clean Riddler, then this is the one for you. But the second school of thought is, heck yeah, let's weather this bad boy up. It's going to be so much fun. We can put our own spin on it. And yes, we can. That's exactly what I plan to do. Spending an afternoon with some paintbrushes and some Tamiya weathering powder and maybe a bit of an airbrush as well. I couldn't think of a better way to upgrade this figure to the next level. If I can do something to take this guy that step above and it's not that much effort, then why the heck not? Plus, I get to do it myself. I get to, like I said, spend an afternoon customizing a figure. Totally worth doing. Now, his jacket does have a real zipper. You can open it and close it if you so choose. And the tailoring is pretty good. It hugs the body, like I said before, and it's not too baggy. It is baggy, just like in the film, but not overly so. He does have some proper pockets, so you can pop stuff in there if you so choose. And the Riddler question mark, it looks like it's been sprayed on, but once again, the only complaint, everything is very clean. I know, I'm preaching, I really shouldn't be, but I really like weathering figures and I cannot wait to get started with this guy. Yes, I will do a YouTube Shorts review when I eventually get around to painting him, but we'll have to wait and see how long that takes me, because doing these reviews back to back every single day, it does take time. Now, the reason I folded up the jacket is there is no hook for the tape, which there really should be. Now, that's something I can fashion myself, maybe out of a paperclip, but we're starting to get a little bit too far into full-on customizing, just some paint applications and some weathering. That's where I personally am going to leave it. His pants, nicely tailored once again, slightly baggy with some pockets, but also super clean, not a single speck of dirt. Then his boots, at the very least, there is some weathering and the sculpt is very impressive. There's some stitching, there's also a subtle texture on the surface, the laces are sculpted, and underneath some fully sculpted and painted tread. For a quick side-by-side comparison, on the left, Puzzle Man, and on the right, my custom Batman. As you can see, Batman is a little bit taller, but that works for me. I don't want Riddler to be this super big, tall, imposing presence. He's kinda slim, lanky, and almost a little bit creepy, so being shorter than Batman totally works here. Next up, the glorious, the handmade, the custom TKT Riddler, the reigning champ, at least in my opinion, for Riddlers in 1/6 scale. Yes, there's already a review live on the channel. He's the exact same height as Puzzle Man, but he doesn't look the exact same. The difference in detail is night and day. The tailoring looks better, the weathering looks better, the mask looks better. He pretty much looks like a real person. Whereas Puzzle Man does, in comparison, look a little bit toyetic. But that's not to say he looks bad. It's still the Riddler in 1/6 scale. He is cheaper than TKT's version and a little bit more accessible. So fingers crossed that helps you if you're trying to pick between these two, but there is that third option, the Conundrum Man. I'll review him at some point as well. Going over articulation, do bear in mind this is my personal copy, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful. Starting off with the head sculpt, don't forget his glasses, they're not fixed in position, so they may fall off if we get a little bit crazy with the posing. He does have a fixed neck with a ball joint down below. Looking forward and back, swivel and pivot, side to side, and look at that, they stayed on, no problem whatsoever. His arms will go up to there, going forward and back on soft, squeaky ratchets. A butterfly joint at the shoulder that hinges up and down. Swivel at the bicep, double bend at the elbow going past 90, plus a hinge and swivel for the wrist peg. The torso will crunch forward and back, swivel and pivot. The legs do go forward to there, going out to there, swivel at the upper thigh, ratchet to double bend at the knee, that's very clicky, and of course goes past 90. He does have a double ball peg for the ankle, which is capable of pretty much the full gamut, but it's a solid boot, so you only really get swivel. Wrapping up on Yan Toys Puzzle Man. Now, going into this, I was excited. I love Matt Reeves' The Batman film, and the Riddler was so creepy. He was a great villain for the movie. So, I was pretty darn hyped to have another version in 1/6 scale. Not just to be Riddler, but to potentially be a Riddler goon in the collection. Now, where does this guy rank from Riddler to Riddler Goon? Well, for me, somewhere in the middle. He's not my ultimate perfect definitive Riddler, but he's not terrible either. I love the array of accessories, I dig the head sculpt, and the outfit is nicely tailored. But unfortunately, it is so clean. Now, it doesn't ruin the figure, but at the same time, he doesn't look as accurate as he potentially could be. With some custom work, if you're a fan of doing that, this guy could absolutely sing. But as it stands, he does need that work to make him as good as he can possibly be. So will he be replacing my TKT1 in the collection? Even though I like him, no, he's definitely going to be in the background though, given the sniper rifle, and he can be one of Riddler's henchmen. Now, do bear in mind, once again, this is third-party, unlicensed, it's an unofficial figure. I have popped the link in the description below to toyswonderland.com, where I got mine, for your reference purposes only. Cause this is not a promotional video, this is a review for a figure I picked up for my own personal The Batman collection. Also, as a side note, Yan Toys for your first figure? Yeah, pretty good efforts. While you are down in the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.